Good evening, lovely tubers. My name is the White Mexican, and welcome to Market Watch Investments. I have a plethora of cards I'll be showcasing for you guys tonight, and I do hope that you will enjoy. Gaming's Kickstarter tonight is going to be Mad Spectre Raccoon Boom Bunku, and this card is exponentially growing in price here. We can see starting market prices for this. By the way, this is the Mega Pack 2016 Ultra Rare Mirrored reprint. So on the cheaper end of the spectrum, and it's going for about 11 bones as a starting market price, and then goes all the way up to 14. Which is pretty incredible, and this is not even for stacks. So I know they had some new support come out of Dabble, and it clearly shows this is at some pretty crazy levels. So if you guys have this card, I recommend that you guys should definitely sell your extra copies if you're not going to play with the new support. And then again, of course, there was the original Ultra Rares from Dimensions of Chaos, which is probably going for a little bit more, being that it's the OG print. Next is going to be Dimensional Barrier. Now, specifically for the Super Rares from World Championship 2008, it was a DS video game. If you guys have at least lightly played conditions of these, they're fetching for a pretty good price. Starting market price for lightly played is going to be about 20 bones for this European Frenchie. And then it's going to continue to articulate value after that. And then if you guys have near mints, it even gets pretty crazy for the near mints. Sorry, market price for near mints is roughly around 26-ish, and then 30, and then it quickly articulates some great money after that. Incredible old school card, not really played anymore. Really great artwork, really great super rare foil, but it's going for some pretty good money. I remember these were like $3-4. Next is going to be Dark Bride. If you guys have Dark Bride from Dark Legends, this is really aesthetically pleasing. I know I rag on Ultra Rares all the time, and I'm definitely going to be doing some ragging on Ultra Rare in this video, but this, in all honesty, is really great rarity for this particular card. It looks very gorgeous. Traps in general, because the gold hollow foiling actually looks kind of nice, not in all sets, not in a lot of sets, but for this one particularly, it looks really nice in my personal opinion. And I'm a huge anti-meta player in my deep down, so this is a really great card, and I don't think I have many. I think I have like maybe one or two of these ultras, and I believe this is the original print if I'm not mistaken, but I have several of the super rare promos which are fetching a good price too. Near mint copies of this are going for 72 bones. That's really incredible. And then that's like the starting market price here. Let's do all conditions because that is pretty pricey. So damage, even damage starting market price is 32 bones. Really incredible. If you guys have this, it does look really great. I love the artwork. Really awesome old school card. But it's going for some really good money. So if you guys don't need it, I would definitely push it off if you can find a buyer. And then the next variant I wanted to talk about is going to be the super rare, which is not coming up for some reason. Here we go. Attack Force 2 super rare promo. And these are also going for a pretty decent price. So if you guys are not using these, let's take a look at some at least lightly playeds. Starting market price for these for lightly played is going to be 16 bones. And then there's some European Deutsch ones here, which are pretty cool. And then it goes up to about 18 after that. There is only 2 pages availability, and it doesn't look like there's even bulk stacks available for this. This one also looks really great. Really old, great, awesome card. So there's that. Next is going to be Vampire Sucker. So actually, no, Vampire Sucker's next. My deepest apologies. W Nebula Meteorite is a solo print common from Extreme Victory. Very old set. This card is actually used in Worms. You can see a few of the cards being showcased down here. It's kind of blurry for some reason. This card is really insane. Now, again, the only thing that has been used and successfully has been Worms. It's a really old school kind of subset decor that was made in DT, which looks really nice. But if you pause video, read this effect, it's pretty insane. If something comes out like a light reptile deck that's actually really good and has some kind of like techie support, I think this could potentially be used depending on the mechanics of the deck. Yes, ideally this is going to be used in kind of like that like flip effect monster builds, but just the fact that this is such an insanely old card and it's a solo print and it's just really good, and it's insanely cheap too. Starting market prices for even bulk prices, first edition copies are like 0.5 of a bone, pretty much all across the board, and there's some pretty heavy stacks on here. So just wanted to showcase that for you guys really quick. Next is going to be for reals this time, Vampire Sucker, the original secret rares from Flood. These are just completely gorgeous. I love the secret hollow foiling in this. I'm a little biased because I'm a huge zombie player, and I just love this card. It's my all-time favorite links as far as artwork and aesthetics. The secret rare foiling is just amazing, and this is just a really great card. And a lot of people forget about you forget about this first part. With Zombie World, if you're doing a tribute summon, you can rip your opponent's monsters, which is really, really cool, and a lot of people kind of forget about that. I know I forget about that all the time. Ideally, this is going to be ran in a Zombie World Field Magic build, which is going to be really, really great. But it's got some really cool options here, and there's not a lot on the market, and that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys for the original secrets, first editions exclusively, near mint lightly played. There's really not that many. There is a fat stack of 45 here, but again, it is Italiano, European, so not all players want to play with European cards. I think they personally look gorgeous for collectability purposes, but obviously it's kind of a little bit more difficult to play here in the States. But for English, they're pretty much 12 bones. There's a stack of 3, and then other than that, they're pretty much gone. There's not a lot of English prints, so if you guys have extra copies, maybe you guys get some good money for this. But personally, I'm holding on to my playset that I have. I run my playset, and it's really, really awesome. So, just an amazing card. So, if you guys want a Foolish Burial on legs, Fiendish Rhino is your guy. This card is really, really awesome. We are getting the new Dark World structure deck in December, so not too far away, and I'm super excited about it. This may or may not be used. This is the highest rarity of this card as an OTS2 super rare, relatively old now. And I love OTS super rares personally. I think like their quality is pretty on par, and they look nice in my personal opinion. So my price for this is going to be 5 bones, pretty much all across the board for like played near mints alike. Near mints are going to actually go to about 7. There's 4 pages of availability, and if we switch over to bulk prices, it's going to start at about 6, 7, and there's a couple stacks available for that. So pretty awesome. Next is going to be some extra deck stuff. We have Topologic Trisbana. This card has just, I think this is an extremely underrated card. A lot of people don't talk about this. It had a little bit of hype. Obviously Flames of Destruction came out quite some time ago, and it had a little bit of playability, but no one really plays this anymore. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff running around, but this is still a really awesome tech choice. I think this card has like a really blowout effect that a lot of people do not really pay attention to, and has really cool artwork. Like this reminds me of like Metal Gear from like Metal Gear Solid, like the big giant like robot machine thing. It's really, really cool. Again, Flames of Destruction was a really cool set. I mean, we got Ghost Bell from it, and it is a high rarity secret rare, so it does look really, really aesthetically pleasing in my personal opinion. It's not the cheapest card. Starting market price is going to be about 8 bones, so again, it's not like insanely expensive. I mean, I like to do bulk investments around like 2 or less bones, sometimes 3, sometimes 5, depending on the range of the card. So it's a little over that, but all in all, it's a really fantastic card. There's not too many on the market. There's a couple stacks here, so it's kind of up to you guys on that, but I just wanted to showcase this because I think Transylvania needs some love. Saryuja is going to be next. So this card has amazing artwork, amazing high rarity secret rare. This is actually the 2018 mirrored secret rare. Personally, I don't mind. 2018, was it 2018? And I think, was it only 2018? I can't remember if there was other Megatins that had mirror rarities, but this has just, I don't really mind. Like personally, like my evenly matches, as long as they're first edition, I run the Mega Pack 18 evenly matches, and I think it's fine. I don't really care if it's the original print. It is mirrored rarity, and they came out roughly around the same time, so like about the same age. But an all-around awesome card. There's a lot of crazy combos. There always will be some crazy combos, and this price of this card goes up and down. Beyond it being an amazing rarity of secret rare, beyond it having amazing artwork, it's just a completely blowout card. It's super, super good and super combo eccentric. And starting market price for this is going to be about 6 bones, which isn't too much for the stack here, and then it goes to about 9 for this other stack here. If we take off bulk prices, there's a couple more available for roughly around 3-ish, 4, give or take, but it gets kind of chunky. I definitely would buy this in like at least play sets. If you want to take a look at the original print from Extreme Victory, Extreme Force. My deepest apologies. I definitely would get first edition. I wouldn't recommend getting this in unlimited. Personally, let's see how much the originals are. The originals are about 7-ish, give or take. 7-9 for first editions. If we check out bulk prices, it goes up significantly for bulk prices for the original print to 25. So personally, I would just go with the reprint if you can. This is a really great card to hold. I think this card definitely has potential to go up, and it always comes in and out of the meta. It's just a really, really great link card. Just like Tornado Dragon. Tornado Dragon is a really awesome generic 2 level 4 XYZ. It's really awesome, really great artwork. Maximum Crisis is relatively old now. Really cool set. Ash Blossom came out of the set originally. And these are going for roughly, I mean, just like, you know, MST on legs, which is really cool in my personal opinion. And it reminds me of Heavy Storm too, kind of like makeshift artwork from Heavy Storm, which is a really cool old school Magic card that I like a lot. About 3 bones, give or take, for these, and let's take a look at bulk prices. Now there is a mirrored secret rare of this, which I'll take a look at shortly, but about 4-ish bones. So you can get this for like 2 ideally, like bulk prices for 2. I definitely, this is another card that I would pick up in play sets. It's just an amazing generic side card, or extra deck card. There was Battles of Legends mirrored secret rare. Now let's see how much these are for bulk prices. So these are actually almost pretty much the same, unfortunately. So I really kind of just wait. Every once in a while it'll go down, and that's like when I like to pick up this card. Since the prices are pretty much the same, you might as well just go for the original Maximum Crisis, personally, I think. Yotoba number 39 is going to be next. So this has potential. I mean, there's new support coming out for this. It's not like a super great card. Obviously, back in the day, it was like really, really like game changing when XYZs originally came into the game, like roughly around 2011-ish era. Which was already 11 years ago, which is just really insane to think about how the game has changed and how like time just keeps on going on and on. So bulk prices of this for English copies here are about 6 bones, and there's a fat stack of 15 for near mint. These are the DT super rares, which I really, really do like. There also is the ultimate rares from OTS, which I think are insanely underrated. Last time I checked, these were like around 20 bones, and that's pretty much where they're at. They're still at about 20 bones for near mint copies for the alties. I personally have several of these. I think they look really, really great. And there's a stack of 20 here, and that goes to 24. So this 20 stack is a pretty good deal. There used to be more, so it looks like people got smart and kind of like chewed them up. But this is a really great iconic card. Has really big ties to the anime for that series of that generation of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it does have really cool artwork. So I think it's more of a collector's card than anything else. The same with Firewall. So this as well has huge ties to the anime, great collectability purposes. I know we have the Ghost, we have the Ultimate, we have a lot of crazy rarities of this, but this is the OG, very first original secret rare variants from Code of the Duelist, which donned link cards for us here in the TCG. So really, really significant history merit, and it has really, really, really badass artwork. Back in the day, we have that infamous history with the Dark World Danger Loop OTK, which was really cool, so a little dark history to this card. And for first edition near mint bulk prices, there's several here for roughly around a phantom of 3 bones for 4. These ones I really wouldn't go too much after. It's just so surprising how like this is a radically decreased in value as like all the different crazy reprints came out. Would really stay away from the mirrored reprint for this because the original ones are so close to, at least for that first stack, to the mirrored reprints. I would just might as well just go for the original Code of the Duelist. Now, there also is the ultimate rare. I personally don't like the Ghost rare. The Ghost from the past Ghost rare, I think they did so dirty. They used like the just not good artwork. The alternative artwork just does not look good to me personally. So I would avoid that like the plague. But these ultimate rares are going for 20 bones, just like Utopia. There is a stack here of 3. And then there's another stack here of 9 for about 21. So pretty fair price, honestly. These do look really gorgeous. They came out kind of bright, almost like a melted nickel, but I kind of like that. I think it's pretty fitting for the artwork. Again, I think this is a really great collector's card to keep an eye out. Maybe pick up a couple copies yourself. Power of the Guardians is next. So again, I'm a huge anti-meta player, and this is seeing a little bit more play than usual. I feel like it could potentially be a good card as a tech in for one of if you're playing a little bit of a slower control deck, but an all-around really great card. I believe there's only 2 prints of this. These are the original super rare variants from Extreme Force, and these are going for a couple bones. They're about like 3-ish. Plenty of stacks to go around, but I just wanted to highlight this card and just give it some love because I think it's really cool and its artwork is really cool. There was the super rare reprints from 2018 Mega Pack as well. Pre-preparation of Rights is going to be next. I don't know how this card isn't more money. This card is just insane. It gives you so many pluses. I really do like the artwork a lot. This is the original super rare variants from Shining Victories, which was a really cool set. We got Winter Cherries in that set. I believe it was a 2016 release. And for first edition copies, these are roughly around 3 or around 2 here for this one, and they go to 4, 5, and then 8. So the stacks are quickly being eradicated on the market, specifically for the first editions. There are ultra rare variants, but ultra rare is pretty disgusting for the most part. So I mean, I don't know why you would get the ultras when you can get the original supers relatively cheap. There also is 2017 mirrored super rares as well, but the prices are so close you might as well just go for the original print, in my personal opinion. There is a super rare from Speed Duels Tournament Pack 4, which is actually pretty cool. I know some of the Tournament Pack Speed Duel stuff is getting pretty up there in collectability value. Next is going to be Solemn Strike. This is from OTS Tournament Pack 4. This is just gorgeous. I love all the song cards. I love all the counter traps. They look really awesome. And this card is really expensive, so let's go ahead and take a look at some price points here. So starting market price for damaged, ladies and gentlemen, is 160 bones. That's really insane. This card just continues to climb. We'll go ahead and take a look at some lightly played copies, and it's going to start out at a market price of 201 bones. And it's going to trickle up after that, and we take a look at near mints. This is going to be crazy. 220. There's a stack of 3 here. So an all-around gorgeous card. Really do love this. I personally have never had alties myself, but I really do appreciate these secret rares. Personally, I run the 2016 Mega Pack First Edition mirrored secret rares. I think they look just as nice as the Breakers or Shadow. They're both aesthetically gorgeous. I think they're great. There also is the super rares from Code of the Duelist, which last time I reviewed these, I think these were roughly around a bone a piece for bulk prices, and they kind of still are. There's some Italiano ones here for a bone, and then there is a couple stacks here for a bone. So I still think that this is a really great choice, even though it is a super rare. I mean, it's insanely affordable. It's significantly more affordable than the majority of the other copies, and this is just an amazing card. Like, everyone needs to have a playset of this, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Solemn Scolding is going to be next. So a lot of people don't talk about this because they don't really like it, because it's a little bit more pricier with a 3,000 here, and it's a little bit more restricted. But if you play it in the fairy build, there's like this pendulum fairy card that basically lets you play around the cost on this card, which is really cool. And this has really great artwork. I really do love the Solemn artworks a lot, and this is no stranger to that. So I just wanted to take a look at this really quick. Market price for this is going to be roughly around 4-ish, 5, and pretty fluctuates pretty quickly here for the first edition copies. There also is a mirrored Megaton variant, mirrored secret rare, which is, you know, a couple bones here too, and which actually looks like, if this is really like accurate of the depicting, I think the reprint actually looks a little bit better. This is a little scuffed up. This one's a little more clarity, a little more HD to the holofoiling. Solemn Warning is going to be next. So these are the ultimate rares from Duelist Revolution, just like Strike. These are insanely, out of all of them, I think this is by far my favorite. I really love the artwork. This picture comes off really dark. It is a dark card in general, like if you see it up close in person. The multi-foiling is just gorgeous. It is pretty dark, not quite as dark as this photo, but starting market price for this is going to be 37 bones for damaged, which is just insane. If we go to lightly played, it's going to go to about 48, and there's a couple 2Z stacks. And then if we go to near mint, for the collectors, it's going to be about 65 for this card. This card just looks so beautiful. It's really cool. That's actually an unlimited. Oh, and I'm sorry, these are for unlimiteds too, which is insane because this card is just insanely expensive. So let's go back to near mint lightly played first edition copies. It's a Deutsch European German one here, which looks really cool for about 100. Some Italiano, Espanol, and looks like the first English is going to be roughly around 119. Let's take a look at bulk prices. Bulk prices is going to start at 110 bones for European, and then 130 for the first English copies. I'm surprised this isn't more, honestly. Even though this is an obscene amount of cash, like anything under 200 for a near mint, like a true near mint first edition, ultimate rare, original print, Solemn Warning is just insane. Really awesome stuff. There's so many amazing prints to this too. Personally, I really do like the Duelist Saga Ultra Rares. Duelist Saga is really unique on its own history merit. It's the only set to have like this like lightsaber looking hollow foil, which is really cool. But all in all, personally, my favorite rarity actually as far as like playability purposes is the 2011 Super Rares. This had blowout reprints promos. And last time I checked, I like to cop these up every time they go like around like 1-2. And right now they're kind of not really at that range, but so there's a few like 115, but then there's shipping, and then it goes to 3 for a fat sack of 56, so not quite there. But if you can get any of these copies of these like bulk prices for under 2, I think it's a phenomenal buy. These super rares are quality. They look really good in my personal opinion. Solemn Judgment is going to be next. So OTS Tournament Pack 12 Ultimate Rares. Now, I'll admit, this is pretty nice. This isn't by far my favorite rarity. I actually like the Ghost Golds from Haunted Mine, which I'll review shortly here. But for all you Alti lovers, near mint copies of this, there's a Frenchie here going for about 92 plus. There's Portuguese, more French stuff. Looks like the first English copy lightly played is going to be 109. And then it's about 110-ish, 111 for near mint copies. If we switch over to bulk prices, first bulk prices are some European and some Portuguese, and then it looks like 120 is the first stack for English, which is pretty awesome. Again, this comes out super dark, and I really do appreciate Ultimate Rares for the most part, but the Gold Series Haunted Mine Ghost Gold hybrids take the cake for me. One, because this is the only set, just like Duelist Saga, it's like a one of. This is the only set to do this, and it looks like really aesthetically pleasing. I mean, yes, it's still a ghost rare, so they're going to have some natural scratches and stuff, which isn't too bad. But the artwork just looks phenomenal, and in Ghost, it just looks really great. Some people don't like these. A lot of players think these would come off like cheap because they're technically gold cards, but then they're also gold, so it's kind of like mixing like the extremely wealthy with like the extremely poor. But I personally think, especially back then, because the like Gold Series 2008, 2009, and this series actually did gold right. It's just like a little honey, like crisp tint of gold. They actually did gold right, and it looks really aesthetically pleasing in my personal opinion. So starting market price for this is going to be 25 bones for lightly played. And then if you want near mint copies, which again, they're never really going to be near mint because ghost rares are always kind of like a little scratchy on the surface. It's going to be about 42, and then trickles up to about 50. And then let's take a look really quick for bulk prices. There's actually a fat sack of 12 right here for 28. Now again, it's not super cheap, but given what it is, I mean, like this card's at 3. This card pretty much stops almost anything. It's got blowout artwork, and this is just aesthetically really pleasing in my personal opinion for the Ghost Golds. Of course, there's the original Gen 1 Metal Raiders, and then there's the Secret Rares from Legendary Collection 4 and 3, which are really great. Personally, for playability purposes, I really do like the DB2. I pretty much like all of them. I'm saying like all of the rarities, but personally, I like the Secret Slayer Super Rares, which are actually, if these are $8, that's really crazy. Wow. So these have articulated some insane values. So Secret Slayers, once again, proves to be a money set still years later. 2 years later, and this is pretty incredible. I'm very surprised that this is so much money for this low of rarity. It looks great personally. That's why I love playing with super rares, because I mean they're still hollow foil, they still look good, but I mean if they get lightly played, they will get lightly played in duels and games and all that. It's really not that big of a deal. But personally, I wish I had more of these because I would sell them if these are really selling. It looks like they are. They're selling for almost 9 bones a pop, which is pretty insane. But yeah, if you guys have several copies, if you guys invested big on Secret Slayers, I think this is a definitely good sell target. But personally, I run trips out of this in my Outlich build. Next is going to be Terraforming. So this card is amazing. This card always reminds me, this card and Necro Valley are kind of like the two alties that I pair up with. They kind of have like that like orange emerald, not emerald, emerald is green, like orange, kind of like bronze, gold. What's the word I'm thinking of? It's kind of like a darker brown, lighter, like goldish color. Really great, aesthetically pleasing, awesome card. I mean, generic field magic search, really good stuff, really cool artwork. Really wish I had one of these. I don't. They're insanely expensive. Starting market price for near mints is going to be about 162 bones here. First place set is going to be about 190 for lightly played. Let's see if there's near mint. There is no near mint for bulk prices. Now, there are several other really great versions. I do have several of the super rares from Astral Pack 1, which is insanely old. I think this one is great for playability purposes. This is the one I always personally run for my competitive game states. And then also the Legendary Collection Kaiba first editions, emphasis on the first edition secret rares, are really great too. There's also the original magics from Pharaonic Guardian, which is very much Gen 1. Now, being Gen 1, part of the original 13 core sets, it's really special to me, specifically for the first editions, because it has the magic stamp. It's pretty much just all the nostalgia there for me. Granted, it is just a common, but still, this is the very first print. Like, this is insane. Like, maybe like 2003, 2004-ish. I don't remember exactly when Pharaonic Guardian came out. A lot of nostalgia that is linked to this, though, in this set. I'm curious to see what bulk prices are, because personally, I mean, I don't even know if I do have, maybe I have a couple. Unfortunately, there's no bulk prices. If I had original first edition commons, I would just run those, because I think those are, just as nice as even the supers. But for now, I'm just running the supers, which works out pretty well, but just an option for you guys. Doesn't look like there's any bulk prices of that, unfortunately, but like 1Z, 2Zs for the first edition original commons. So Traptrix Alphasia is next. So the OCG announced the new structure deck for Traptrix. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. I personally haven't researched the deck too much myself personally. I think Traptrix have phenomenal artwork. They're really cool. I love Trappist-centric decks. And I don't know, it's going to be interesting depending on what kind of cool reprints they have, and if the cool reprints are hollow foils, like at least super rares. I think that's definitely going to bolster the numbers for the sales for the structure deck, but time will tell. This card is gorgeous. I've always really loved particularly Ralphasia's artwork in general, and this being the highest rarity as ultimate rare. Really cool that it's from OTS Pack 13. It's my favorite number. Starting market price for this is going to be about 40 bones. And then it goes up to about 45, and then it just kind of trickles up after that. So pretty good. Let's see market trends. It looks like it got an initial bolster in price in like August, and then it's kind of starting to dip down, and it's kind of increasing a little bit. There also are secret rares, of course, which is no shame to it. I mean, the original was a secret, Breakers of Shadow, and then there was the mirrored 2016 Megaton. Now, for playability purposes, I mean, you can play anyone you want. Personally, yes, for collectability purposes, is really great, but I think both the secrets look really awesome as well. So this is a really great sell target. I'm not sure why, but the 2016 Megaton promo ultra rares of the original artwork for us here in the TCG of Blue Eyes White Dragon are going for 12 bones. 12 bones, ladies and gentlemen. 12 bones. That's pretty insane. I don't know why. I mean, I get it. It's cool artwork, but I mean, it's not super old. I mean, it is 6 years ago, 7 years ago almost now. But this is crazy. I know I used to have a lot of these, and I sold the majority of them. I don't think they were quite this high. I think they're going for like 8.7s when I sold them, I think in 2020. Really interesting fluctuation in this though, so if you guys have this, I think it's definitely a great sell target. Just the same with Dark Magician, so 2017 Megatons. This is the Secret Rare promo. I personally love this artwork of Dark Magician. There's several. I think there's like a common and an ultra and the secret, but this being Secret Rare, it's really aesthetically pleasing. I really love the artwork. I love like the magic circle around him and like the pose, and it just looks really cool. It looks like a total baddie. This is going up slightly. It's about 4-ish bones, give or take, and then it trickles up to about almost 5. So it's not quite there yet. Personally, I invested in several of these. I have tons of these, and I mean, I remember buying them for like 0.5 of a bone, like bulk prices, very, very, very affordable. For near mints, I don't know. I think this thing's going places. It's definitely not going anywhere soon, but it is one of my favorite rarities of Dark Magician, and it's slowly starting to articulate value, especially when we get to the bulk prices. So we'll see. Time will tell what happens with this card. Now next is going to be something really obscure, because I always found these kind of weird, I don't even know what to call it. It's not normal Secret Rare from the 2014 and 2015 tins. This is what it looks like. It actually looks really cool. I hate pendulums. I've never really been a fan of pendulums. I personally think they're like extremely ugly and like a very annoying mechanic, but you gotta respect them. They are very much a mechanic, and there's some pretty smooth moves that you can do with them, and they're part of the game. You have to accept them. Players are going to be playing them, and you're going to have to play against them every once in a while. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon is probably one of the better promos. They have like a Bujin one and like a Dark Rebellion or something like that. I think this one is kind of like the most generic promo off between the 2014-2015 Megatons, and I just really do like it. Looks like just like rainbow rare. I don't know, it just looks really, really cool. I like it a lot, and this is kind of what it looks like. So it's insanely affordable too, and it's kind of cool because like the 2014-2015 Megaton promos is the only products that produce this type of like very vivid, like deep, like rainbow looking Secret Rare, and this is insanely affordable. I mean, bulk prices near mints are like well under a bone, and there's several available, so to each their own on that. Sacred Sword of the Seven Stars is going to be next. So the original prints from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy are going for pretty good money. These are the original super rares. Starting market price for this is going to be about 8 bones for the played first editions, and then near mints go to a whopping 16-17 bones, which is really incredible. Very good money. And there's only two stacks of 3 for bulk prices. Now I believe there was a mirrored super rare from one of the Megatons as well. So let's see, here is the mirrored Secret Rare, which is going for pretty good money too. Starting market price is going to be about 7, then jumps to about 8. So all around pretty good sell target. This is a phenomenal draw power card, so if you guys don't have a playset, I definitely recommend holding a playset, regardless if it be the mirrored super rare reprint or the original super rare. Love the cardboard on cardboard action. Level 7s are always going to be something that's going to come in and out of the game. And the last card that I have for you guys tonight is going to be Pot of Riches. Now, bear with me, this is kind of an obscure card. Again, I don't like pendulums. There are like very, very few pendulums that I do like. But it's a mechanic, it's a thing. There's a lot of players, maybe not a lot, but there are some players that like pendulums and make a lot of different crazy builds with it, and they are very combo centric, and there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. So this is just kind of a generic draw power. It does really bite that you cannot special summon besides Pendulum Summon. As time goes on, and pendulums have always kind of had a weird like kind of power scale of being like really bad or really good. They've never really kind of been like in the middle for the most part, in my personal opinion. but every time a new card comes out that really like boosts them, I feel like their numbers really bolster and people really jump on the train to play pendulum centric builds. But the best thing about this is insanely affordable. So this is the original. No one liked this set. This was this was so bad. Like this set, there really wasn't too much in here, but it was kind of like a drop-off set. Let's check bulk prices. I don't really know if there's gonna be a lot of bulk prices here. Unfortunately, there's only one stack for the original secrets for around 2 bones. So I mean that's pretty good. I think anything under 2 bones or around like pretty much 2 bones is kind of the ideal price you want to pay, even under maybe a bone, if it gets that low. Now keep in mind there are the mirrored 2015 secret rares. Now if this card sees play, if it actually sees like a really big push in play and a lot of players want this card, it goes without saying that the mirrored secret rares from Mega Pack 15 will also articulate some value as well. Now we don't know how much value that will be, but keep in mind these are insanely affordable. Starting market prices for bulk prices is under a bone for a fat stack of 62 for lightly played first edition, and then there's a huge stack right here of 257. So all options for you guys. If you've enjoyed this content, please share it with someone that you believe will also enjoy it. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by the White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.